Wow, wasn't that event great? I'm not actually sure, this is pre-recorded. Chapter 6 is just about to begin, so it's time I unlocked Street Art Meowdas in one day. I actually went for the super styles this season, but only since the max was only level 70, so don't expect for me to go for them on normal seasons. Remember to subscribe, and if you're new here, I've done this a couple times, so be sure to check out the backlog. These videos are inspired by Luke TheNotable, and with that, let's begin. I started out having to stop having a good time and actually get on Fortnite. When I logged in, I purchased the Battle Pass with the 10 level up bundle using code Zeywerks. Upon doing so, I was granted some shoes, so I guess I'll be wearing those. I readied up into my first game of rocket racing, which is still running on the same competitive season. After a boring 45 minutes of taking the shitmobile out for a spin, I stopped playing rocket racing at level 14. I popped off in Fortnite Festival. Starting from this season, they stopped using festival points, so the mode's challenges now give XP directly. Along with that, the music pass progression is shared with XP earned from any mode, which is a blessing and a curse, because it makes the rewards more accessible, but also it's 10 weeks long, and I bet a lot of us finished it within the first 2 days. I managed to pull off a couple flawlesses I had never done before, and left the stage at a decent level 23. Last of the three is LEGO Fortnite. Back to my hardcore world from last time. Unlike last time, I had a terrible time with enemies swarming me. I managed to start a little shack in the grasslands biome, but things took a turn for the worse when I foolishly entered the dark cave at night. I was unfamiliar with the location, and despite any resources I collected, I was just no match for the evils that lied within the tunnels, losing my hardcore world to literally just some default skeleton. But getting back to the lobby at level 27. Unlike last season, Reload finally got some more challenges, along with an entire new map, so I loaded in for a couple games. In Reload Game 1, my team went Pleasant Park, where my usual drop spot was unusually contested. It must have been a bad luck sign, since my squad never even left the location. Reload Game 2, we jumped right for Tilted Towers, and despite being a duo in squads, I managed to get a lot of eliminations throughout the game, especially once I picked up a suppressed sniper. In the endgame, my teammate pushed a trio and died, leaving me without much of a chance, and ending the game in second place. Finally on the new Oasis map for Reload Game 3, I landed north of Lizard Links, but I soon had to rotate into a near endless battle outside of Paradise Palms. My teammates all one by one disappeared into the massive builds, where I quickly followed, going back to the lobby at level 32. Reload Game 4, I'm back on the main map. There's not much to say in terms of challenges. All of them are tasks that slowly get done while playing, like earning gold or getting eliminations. Once our best teammate went down in the final zone, I knew it would be a losing battle, but at least I crashed out and took a few of their teammates down with me. When the game was over, I was already done with the festival pass. Reload Game 5, I dropped squad fill into Adobe Abodes with my single teammate. I'm sure you know how this goes. I finished this session of Reload at level 36. With all that, it's finally time for Battle Royale Game 1. I landed at a weather station for a helicopter, and to collect my first gnome, along the way completing challenges and flying over named locations. The second gnome happened to be invisible, however the one at Weeping Woods was fine. I was almost out of fuel, so I parked at a lake hoping to find a gas can, when a player suddenly hopped in my helicopter and flew away. I left to continue hunting 2 gnomes near Holly Hedges, then traveled past battle remains including my old helicopter. I found a car and took the shitmobile for a spin past the dog pound, where I caught the scent for vehicular manslaughter, and sent King of Fudge on his merry way. Later in the endgame, I slid my way to a nice position in view of the players running into the circle, where I managed to wait out and snipe 2 players, which got me the best loot in the game. I saw a figure in the far distance and made my way around a flank, where I managed to snipe them while looting, bringing the game down to a 1 versus 1. I sat up in a tower looking all around until the final player was finally revealed to be a surviving AI, who soon got shredded by the M&M minigun, leaving my first game a win and sending me back to the lobby at level 41. Going to a different weather station for game 2. It said online that this one had a helicopter, but it wasn't there. I traveled around collecting the last of the gnomes at Craggy Cliffs, a northern beach, a transmission tower, and finally east of Frenzy Farm. I had to continually run south for the zone, and in the endgame built a nice base within the dam, but after assassinating Abraham Luton at Risky Reels, I was the next victim of Marvin Plays, already wearing the base version of Meowdas in game 3. I'm in Team Rumble to grind out the weekly challenges, which are mostly combat related, with 3 location-based challenges sprinkled in. I landed Ice Isle to complete one of those, which was to search containers. Before the fighting began, I was also able to gain shields at the dog pound, leaving 1 left. This game my focus was on explosive damage, rifle eliminations, hitting opponents close up and from afar. After ratioing the enemy team, I went back to the lobby already level 49. Game 4 I loaded in 3000 XP away from level 50, and as I pulled out my umbrella, my game froze and then crashed. but upon loading back in, I was now level 50, meaning I could call it here, but we all know I'm gonna keep going. I finished a quest for thanking the bus driver in game 5. This time, my game didn't crash on the way to the Spaghetti Grotto, and I was able to complete the last location-specific challenge. Later on, I finished surviving storm circles, and needed to focus on the few challenges I had left, like rifle eliminations or drum gun tags, which I almost finished before the game ended. I landed Retail Row in game 6, quickly traveling to some of the unvisited locations, before finally finishing challenges to use shockwaves and the drum gun tags, finishing at level 56. Game 7 was hectic. I was quickly able to finish my assault rifle eliminations, which left me with one challenge to do in solos. Like usual, with a sniper in my hands, I decimated the lobby, and especially this same guy over and over. With only 2 unvisited locations, game 8 I landed the yacht, where I was followed onto my helicopter, where we both killed each other. For my last location, I had a hot drop on the rig in game 9, where I took out the only contesting player and picked up their weapons to finish my last weekly challenge. After getting TNT and all to myself, I saw 2 players back at the rig searching for me. I grappled towards them, eliminating one with a shotgun, while the other was trapped in an unbreakable porta potty. So I just waited him out, and when he finally jumped out, he didn't stand a chance. Near Weeping Woods, I saw Laura Croft running in the distance and started to trail. They broke the age-old rule of destroying their trees. However, after initiating the fight, I was edited into oblivion, putting me at level 60. It was finally time for some creative mode to complete my Discover dailies. I loaded in and was out a level higher within 5 minutes. Still having 2 reload quests left, along with the fact that it gives playtime XP, I went back into reload for game 6. My squad landed Tilted Towers, and by the final zones, together my team and I amassed 23 eliminations, but the lobby was still packed for such a small zone, and we all got singled out and eliminated. Really loving my outfit pickaxe combo in Reload Game 7. I had good faith in my teammates who were all above level 300 with crowns. We all did a nice job staying together and applying pressure to the enemies around us. In the final circle, I was spamming my rocket launcher to prevent a res, and not long after, the game was down to a 1v4. Then a victory royale, sending me back to the lobby at level 63. I didn't want to go back into rocket racing or Lego, so I decided to go to the battle stage, which I'm not sure if I've ever done in this series. During the battle, my training from earlier prevailed as I managed to flawless and gold star more songs. I sweated my ass off and was basically in first place the whole time, and won 30,000 points above second place. Being so close to level 70, in game 10 I switched back to Team Rumble for Milestones. I'm assuming the XP won't stay this buffed, but this season they gave out about as much as a weekly quest. There's not much else to say about the gameplay other than me wanting to show off my combos. Same goes for game 11, where I played the game out and ended at level 68. Finally was game 12. While searching risky reels, I found the camera to be interactable, where it started to play the prelude event from last season. I only managed to survive long enough to see Snoop Dogg get on stage. Later on, I completed a milestone to deal damage, which finally sent me to level 70. After the game ended, I went back to the lobby and claimed the streetwear Meowdas edit style, showing that it's once again possible to complete the battle pass in one day, and this time even with the super styles. I'm looking forward to seeing what Fortnite has in store for chapter 6, but now it's time for me to get back to peak. Remember to subscribe, and click or tap here to watch more videos of mine that YouTube thinks you might like. This has been Zeywerks, and I'll see you all next time.